Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Beneath the Steel Sky for the PC. In the last episode, we entered the St. James Club. We explored this little side room here, and we have opened this vent. Once we go through this vent, there's no way to come back here. This is the point of no return, so here we go. Let's right-click the box to get up here, and we can look at the narrow passage if we want to.
Can't see anything, but I can feel a breeze.
And from here, we can right-click and go in. There's nothing else to do here.
The subway. It's like a warren built by giant rabbits.
And here we are inside the subway passage. There's rubble here. I doubt anything will be coming our way, though.
The roof of the tunnel must have collapsed.
How? It's hard to say.
I'm never going to be able to shift all that.
And I doubt that there will be a point in doing such, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to go to the east here, and there are two ways that we can go. If we follow the straight path, if we don't go in the other direction, we'll just run into more rubble. The left click and right click actions are the same for this pile of rubble as it is for the ones that we just saw. So, we're going to just go back and go through here instead. And there's not really much to this screen. It should be mentioned that if you ever take the exit, though, Robert will always walk on the tracks. The game forces you to do that. Now, this can be a pain in the butt for what's going to happen here. I saved the practice game just to be safe. Good. And there is a socket here. It is very pixel specific as to where you need to put the cursor.
That appears to be a light socket.
And if I could move away from the socket, that'd be great. Okay, there we go. Now we can right-click it.
I'd better not put my fingers in that socket.
Yeah, otherwise they might get stuck, let alone probably shocked by like live voltage or something. There is a hole here. If you were to take the exit at this point, or if you look in the hole,
there's something in there. Something horrible.
You die. You obviously don't want to do that. So let's go back to our practice file. And believe it or not, we do have a way of getting past this creature. We have this light bulb that we got from the generator in the city. If we place it in the socket, the monster will not mess with us in any way whatsoever. Plus, we light up this room, which is wonderful.
Whatever lives in there is scared of the light.
And of course, if you look in the hole, you won't be bothered anymore.
No way am I going in there.
Well, at least the game doesn't give you a Sierra death if you right-click the hole. Now we have another room that we can enter, which is right here. We have some posters that we can look at.
It's an old advertisement for Anchor Insurance. I wonder if Anchor's grandfather was a complete zero, too.
Oh, dear. Well, there's no telling how old this poster might be, though we may be able to see if we click on the other one.
The picture is covered with mold and dirt.
Or maybe not. But there's definitely mold on it, so maybe it's pretty old. If you try to grab any of the posters,
I'm not climbing up there just to get souvenirs.
The game doesn't let you. Also, there is a sign saying what the name of this station is.
It's the station's name. Museum.
And if you right-click the sign, you'll get the same results as if you tried to grab the posters. There's nothing more that we can do here, so let's go ahead and exit this room and... Oh dear.
Uh-oh, the tunnel roof doesn't look too stable.
I'm just going to skip the death here, because this part is timed, and if you don't click on that opening in the lower right-hand corner in time, you do die. I'd rather just get that out of the way now. You just get hit from above by rocks, and then you get the death screen, and then you have the start from your last save. And that's no fun at all. So we are now in this very silent room. We have yet another point of no return at this point. And it seems like we may be stuck here. We have some plaster. We have this big throbbing vein. We have this swelling here. And we have a door. Let's go ahead and look at the door.
There's no obvious way of opening it.
Well, can we try?
I can't slide it, push it, or pull it.
And I doubt that we can use the metal bar on the door itself. The game doesn't let us. So, let us look at the swelling on this vein.
The outer skin is stretched and weakened. The skin's too tough to tear with my fingers.
So you can't really... I don't believe you can cut this.
The skin is too hard to cut.
You can't. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the vein.
That thing's alive. I wonder what it is.
Well, whatever it is, it can't possibly be any good. So, yeah, we may want to be careful when we're over here.
It's warm and throbbing with a tough skin.
And that's what happens when you right-click it. You find out that this is a rather hardy organism, whatever this thing may be. And there's also some loose plaster here.
That patch of plaster looks damp and crumbly.
Something tells me we might be able to break it with something.
I can't quite reach it.
Just not with our hand. However, we can use the metal bar on this. Thank you, game.
I've exposed the bricks beneath the plaster.
But that's still not going to be enough, even though we've exposed the brickwork.
The mortar holding those bricks has crumbled away.
So whatever it is, this place must be very old and very abandoned.
I can't quite reach it.
But we still can't reach the brickwork. So once again, we're going to have to use the metal bar on the brickwork to break it open. And once we do that, the brick that comes out falls on our head and lands on the ground.
There's a hole where the brick was.
And from there we can break up the brick. By the way, if you right-click the brickwork again, once again, Robert will tell you that he can't reach it, but that's kind of a moot point now.
A good, solid old brick.
We might as well pick it up. It's going to be useful for something, I'm sure. So we now have a brick in our inventory. The brick is standard-sized, regular-shaped, dark red in color, and brick-like in every way. It's a brick! So, we have an item. That's neat. That's excellent. But we're still trapped in this room. How are we going to get out? Well, believe it or not, you can hit the swelling with the metal bar.
It's penetrated the outer skin.
And we now have a crowbar stuck in the vein.
It's stuck in the vein, but hasn't pierced it completely.
So you would need a little bit more force. And of course you can pull the crowbar back out if you choose, but why would you want to?
It's penetrated.
So, thankfully, we have a means of forcing it further in with the brick that we just got. Let's do that.
Ugh! I made a hole right through the vein.
And from here, We can take the crowbar back out. And now we wait because we just managed to get this door open. Once this door opens and the medical droid comes in to try to fix the vein, that's when you make your way in. Alright. We have a few things that we can look at. We have a grill, and we have an exit. And once this medical droid leaves the room, he goes over to the east. And you can watch the robot go in here. It just goes in this little pod here and just deactivates. Ready to take any further action against anything that attacks the veins, I guess. Well, we have a few things we can look at, such as this grill. Let's see what happens if you look through this grill.
Probably a ventilation grill.
Well, that's what happens if you left-click it. Let's right-click instead. Oh dear. This guy is doing something with something. We can't hear him, but he is apparently growing things. And this guy... Another perfect brother right for programming, he says. This doesn't sound good. But it looks like he looks like one of the clones that we saw in the cathedral. If that suit is any indication. You can kind of see half of his head, but you can definitely tell by the suit. You can't really see his head at all. Like, at least not the lower half of it. But it looks like this guy really is one of the clones in the cathedral. I mean, the suit is kind of a giveaway. And of course, if you wait around long enough, he just keeps repeating the same dialogue that we saw. I don't suppose... Well, that we can look at the cylindrical tanks when we get in here. And the tank itself, there's the grill, there's the computer. But we would have to deal with this guy if we came in here, and I don't think we want to deal with him. I really have a bad feeling about him if he's some mass-produced humanoid thing. Anyway, we are now in this room. This is a weird lava room. I'm going to go ahead and save my game here, which I say as I already have, because it is easy to die in here.
The cover must regulate the heat from below.
And let's see if we can look at... Yeah, we can look at the pit.
Boiling lava. Boy, that's hot.
I don't suppose we can right-click the pit.
Careful I don't fall in there.
Okay, good. It's not that simple, but you can still die in here. I just decided to go in here in case there was a death sequence. Now, there is a control unit here.
The controls for opening the cover.
And I'm not sure if you need to do this now, but you will eventually have to do this. So we can boost the temperature, or we can reduce it. We're going to reduce it. Now we need to go up to this metal bar and pull it. I probably should have...
Pulling the handle has loosened the grill. It allows the heat to rise. It's no longer securing the grill.
Okay, good. So the metal bar was there to secure the grill. And the grill probably leads to something... Well, maybe it's a heat vent, but it may lead to something else later. I don't know. But I know that the grill is there to reduce the heat, just to give the heat someplace to go and not be trapped in here and whatnot. If you are not fast enough to pull the metal grill, the pit will open and you will fall in and die. You don't want to do that. So now that that's over with, does he do anything?
It's probably a ventilation.
Does he say anything? Yeah, he's saying the same things as usual. Alright. Let's go ahead and go over to here. We don't necessarily need to look through this grill. It just leads to the room that over here that we can enter. But we might as well just go ahead and do it anyway, just to be safe. There is a robot with a slot. There is a monitoring controls. There's a door. There's another door right there. We can't really do much of anything else. Okay. Though there is a robot, as well as a door and some controls and a monitor. Let us look at everything that we can.
The screen displays the medical robot's status.
Well, can we right-click to learn more? No.
They don't appear to do anything.
And I suppose we can't do anything with the controls either.
They don't appear to do anything.
We can't. Okay, so there is a robot here. That's that medical droid that we saw earlier.
It's recharging itself at the power supply. There aren't any external switches.
So we can't really take the robot with us, and we can't really mess with it in any way. There is a slot, though, so maybe there's a chance?
The slot gives access to an expansion port.
We probably can. We could probably put Joey's circuit board in there.
I can't get my hand in there.
Well, we shouldn't really be able to do that anyway. But we can put this in the slot, though.
How do you feel, Joe?
I'm completely operational, and all my circuits are functioning perfectly.
That's a relief. Is there any immediate danger?
If your presence here is detected, termination is more than likely.
So we have Joey back. Let's see if there are any other humans in the area.
Negative.
What about the guy in the tank room?
Negative. The technician is an android. I advise you to avoid contact with it.
Are you really the Joey I grew up with? You don't sound like him.
That is unavoidable. My shell has a limited syntactic processor.
Oh well. At least you're not so argumentative.
And yeah, we really don't want to go in there, but if you do go in there, I'm going to save the practice file. You do get some information, but you will die when you go in here.
Hello. I was not expecting a visitor.
Wait a minute.
Allow me to introduce myself.
We've already met several times.
I am known as Walter, and I am the future.
This guy sounds like the guy in the suit near Burke's biosurgery. The one who just came off as really, really weird. We have some dialogue options, so we might as well use them.
You're not human, are you?
Now, whatever gave you that idea? I'm obviously not a machine. Or an animal. In fact, I differ little from you.
And I suppose that this is where we reproduce ourselves. We ask, as we already overheard this guy talking about creating his own brothers.
Is this where you reproduce yourself?
Yeah, the genetic nursery. Here, my kind are nurtured and grown, educated according to LINC's needs.
And we have some more dialogue options. Let's ask if this has any connection with Overman.
Has all this any connection with Overmen?
Indeed. Without the Overman connection, I might never have been conceived.
So, whoever this Overman is, he's creating all of these androids. But what are LINC's plans for the real humans?
What are LINC's plans for the real humans?
We're all members of the same family. We can coexist quite peacefully until they disappear through natural wastage. But ye need have no concern for the well-being of the human race. Or for the future, come to that. Since you have no future.
And he grabs her by the throat and snaps her neck with one hand. We're dead. If we picked the middle dialogue option instead of the first or third at the beginning of all of that dialogue tree, the one where future is in all caps, we would have gotten the "you have no future" message and we would have gotten killed anyway. So at least I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting. So these androids, they want to replace the humans and create the perfect LINC society in this dystopian Australia or something. Australia, New Zealand. I want to think that this is... Actually, I think... Isn't Hobart in Tasmania? Let me look. Before I think. Hobart. Oh, it is in Tasmania. I was right. Well, we can do some things. We were able to ask Joey to check out the tank room. And we can do that. But we're gonna wait until the next video. Just let me type in the file name real quick, and there we are. Join me next time, where we explore more of wherever this is, and see what's going on here. We've reached the point of no return, and there is something very, very ominous about this place. It wouldn't surprise me if we were near the end of the game. This is a point-and-click adventure after all. Point-and-click adventures from the 80s and 90s weren't all that long if you knew what to do. And something tells me things are not going to get any easier, especially when we're in a place that we're not exactly supposed to be. So until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!